And welcome, sports fans, to today's roundtable. And glad you joined us for today's show. We've got quite a bit to get to for today, including high school basketball results from yesterday evening. And we had a busy night last night here in Dexter, bringing the Stoddard County Activities Association tournament finals. And we've got some highlights to even show from last night's games, as well as the other games that took place throughout southeast Missouri. Also, we've got local and state rankings to get to you for high school basketball for both boys and girls. And we've got Bernie basketball coach Brad Botsch in the studio with us today, coming off their tournament championship from last night, the Bernie Mules. So we'll talk to him about that win last night and their season thus far and going forward as well. So stick around. We'll have Brad Botsch in our next segment for here on the roundtable. So look forward to that. And also we'll give a little preview to the Super Bowl for this weekend. Big Super Bowl game for tomorrow as well. So a lot to get to for our show for today. And just going straight to the games from yesterday evening. Taking a look at those contests. Had quite a few games in the area last night. And taking a look at those, we've got Charleston over Kennett, 79 to 75, I believe that might be the wrong score, but either way, Charleston defeating Kennett last night, and a big win there in the SEMO Conference for the Charleston Blue Jays. And also we got Oak Ridge over Kelly, 74 to 45. Hayti over East Prairie, handily 86 to 47. South Pemiscot over Neelyville, handily 78 to 33. New Madrid County Central over Portageville in that New Madrid County showdown there, 81 to 51. Twin Rivers over East Carter County, 60 to 52. Malden over Doniphan, 53 to 47. Jackson over Notre Dame in a big matchup there in the SEMO Conference last night, 59 to 49. Scott County Central over Chaffee, 91 to 68. And that's one team that's really gotten strong over the last month. Scott County Central getting back their All-State guard in Lorandus Banks, and they've been strong ever since, and pretty much started strong nonetheless. So big victory for the Scott County Central Braves last night. And also in the SEMO Conference, close game last night between Cape Central and Poplar Bluff. Cape Central edges the Poplar Bluff Mules 63 to 62. Poplar Bluff led most of that game, but it was Cape Central pulling it out in the very end, and a close one there in the SEMO Conference. Also, we've got Sykeston over Sullivan, 72 to 40. Oran over Leopold, 62 to 60. Perryville over Scott City, 67 to 47. Clearwater over Greenville, 76 to 47. South Iron over Meadow Heights, 59 to 47. Advance over Woodland, and they were now in the Stoddard County Activity Association finals from last night, and the JV third place game, it was Advance over Woodland, 60 to 53. In the varsity third place game in the Stoddard County tournament, it was Advance over Puxico, 75 to 64. And getting to the finals from last night, in the JV finals from the Stoddard County tournament, it was Bell City over Dexter, 51 to 49. And an exciting fashion last night in that end, and we've got a video to show the ending.
Bell City player, 2.6 seconds.
You want to try to force them to get the ball inbounds in the backcourt if you're Dexter.
Inbounds to Montgomery.
Wow!
Three-point basket. Bell City with a three-point shot. They defeat the Dexter Bearcats. 51-48.
And as you see there, great shot. Bell City taking the ball out with 2 seconds left, 3/4 court away from the basket. A long pass into the opposite corner, and a throw back to one of the guards there for Bell City. Puts it up from deep in three-point land right as the buzzer goes off. And quite a finish there last night in that JV final game, Bell City over Dexter. And you won't see a better finish from a game, especially at the JV level, than that right there. A great atmosphere. The jam was packed at that point. Bell City really brought a great crowd, and both teams did, Dexter and Bell City. But a great atmosphere for a JV game. It's hard to come by, an atmosphere with that much emotion in the crowd for a JV game. But a great game there towards the end, and one of the better JV games I've ever seen. I must admit, it was they were playmaking. The playmaking on both sides of the court on both teams there towards the end was amazing. It was certainly a great game to watch, and certainly a great finish. You certainly wouldn't forget anytime soon. So great finish there between Bell City and Dexter. And in the varsity finals, it was Bernie over Woodland, 59-45. And Bernie pulls away with the Stoddard County Activity Association tournament. And Bernie having a good run in the conference here in the last handful of years. Come away with that county tournament victory once again this year. We've got some highlights to show of this, so we'll show those from last night. And taking a look here, Woodland got off to a really nice start. You see Garrett Reynolds scoring the first few baskets for Woodland as we see him here on the drive. Up with the left hand in the lane. Another nice basket, and here's a nice jump shot at the top of the free throw line there, and jumped out 6-0 and had the lead at the end of the first quarter. And Bernie starts to make their way back here. A three-point miss and cleaned up by the Bernie Mules. And Jake Wagner really got hot in this game. There's one of his 6 3-pointers in the game, and now we see Matt Bernie getting the three-pointer on the left side. He knocks it down. And Woodland stayed tough throughout the game here. Tough basket underneath there. They hung tough throughout the game, but Bernie in the end really shot the ball well from the outside, as you saw there. Another three-pointer, and Joey Walker underneath, splitting the defense, going up and getting that basket, pulling away with that victory. So an impressive showing by the Bernie Mules last night, and a great tournament, start to finish, especially last night. Really good games in those third place and championship games last night we brought to you here on YHC in that SCAA finals night. So we'll be replaying those throughout the weekend. We'll have them uploaded to CMOSportZone.com as well. Really great games at the Bearcat Event Center last night. And those are the games to report on, and we're going to take a break and be back with Brad Botsch, the Bernie basketball coach, talk about that game from last night and their season so far and going forward. We'll be back with him coming up.
Welcome to NFL Total Access,
the show that takes you inside the locker room and down on the field. With inside access to all 32 teams all year long. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, only on NFL Network.
NFL Network, where football season never ends.
I chose Three Rivers College. Caring staff made it easy to enroll. I'm receiving affordable, quality college classes. Day, evening, and online classes let me work college into my schedule.
With locations throughout Southeast Missouri and over 200 course offerings, including online courses, Three Rivers can help you earn a college or career technical degree.
I chose Three Rivers College. You should too.
Enroll today. Learn more at trcc.edu. Three Rivers College. Success starts here.
First Midwest Bank Gold Club offers special privileges for our friends who are age 50 or better and have combined deposits of $5,000. Members enjoy trips, cruises, seminars, and picnics along with free personalized bank services. Upcoming trips include Journey Through the Holy Land, Yellowstone in winter, Classic Ireland, and Hawaiian Paradise Cruise. Stop by any First Midwest Bank location to sign up for the Gold Club. It's absolutely free. First Midwest Bank, providing common sense financial solutions every day.
And now we're along with Brad Botsch, the Bernie basketball coach. And Brad, impressive victory last night. You get another Stoddard County tournament victory. So, as a team, you got to be, pleased with the effort last night and come away with the tournament championship.
Anytime you can win a championship, it's fun. It doesn't matter how you get it done or the adversity you go through to get it. But anytime you can get a championship in Stoddard County, you've done something done something well, and we're proud of our kids for that.
Certainly, and you talk about the adversity, and this was a rough tournament for you. In the opening game, you suffer an injury to Caleb Ellenberg, one of your better post players that you have, and Bubby Schwint goes down, I think, in practice or something during the week. So a tough week, certainly, when it comes to the injuries.
Yeah, we knew it might get a little tighter, but we've got other capable kids to step up to, and we've kind of had a pretty deep bench all year, and having some other kids like Devin Trammell step up, and we've got a couple other juniors, Brandon Sparks, and we played Gavin Smith some, Matt Vernon. Those guys all stepped up along with the guys that have been playing quite a bit more, and we needed them to do that. And when one teammate falls, somebody else has got to step up and take their place, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you if you don't find a way to get it done. They're not gonna say, well, Bernie had some guys out. So you just got to find a way to get it done. And it wasn't the prettiest game last night. We're kind of going to have to win ugly, a little bit. We're struggling a little offensively, but I thought the kids really did some good things defensively last night, especially early on when we weren't scoring very well.
Certainly, and you speak to some of those guys that are stepping up, Devin Trammell, Brandon Sparks. Seems like since Christmas they've really stepped up their playing time and contributing quite well.
We've got a lot of guys that are capable. It's a good problem to have when you've got too much depth. It's kind of like too much pitching in baseball. It's a good problem to have. And our kids are unselfish. They don't pout if they don't get to play. They just know they have to work harder to help contribute. And I think we've got a good group that understands what roles they need to play. Everything doesn't always go right and as planned, and we coach them hard and we're hard on them. We probably, Jason and I both are probably as hard on kids as any coaches around. We really stay on them, and they don't pout about it, and we hope to instill enough toughness in them to continue to win.
Sure. And you talk about that depth, and you certainly use it to y'all's advantage. You really keep up the intensity, especially the defense. You really stay after it to wear on the opposing offenses, and that's kind of been y'all's the theme of y'all's team here in the past years, is really staying after defensively and making an impact on the game that way.
Yeah, we try to hang our hat on defense. Learned a long time ago that's the most important part of the game, in my opinion, defense and rebounding. And it's nice to score, and nice for the fans to see points put up on the board, but if you can't stop anybody, you're going to have a hard time come playoff time to get anything done. So Jason and I really preach defense, and we spend a lot of time in practice, and sometimes maybe our offense doesn't get enough attention. But I thought when we struggled early offensively last night, I think we only had 4 points in the first quarter, and credit Woodland for that. They came out and they hadn't been in a championship game in a long time, came out with a lot of energy, and we didn't get very good looks and only got one opportunity. But I think our kids finally picked it up a little bit, and thank goodness for Jake hitting some shots last night. We didn't shoot outside very well, and without Caleb inside, we don't have as much of an inside presence as what we had with his touch in there. So we just got to have kids keep stepping up till hopefully we can get some guys back healthy. But if not, we're just going to have to keep battling and find a way to win.
Sure. You spoke of Woodland, and Woodland, first time being in the championship of the county tournament since 1993, and they were the 6th seed coming into this tournament, had some impressive victories. And then, beating Advance there in the semifinals to advance, and they really had a nice tournament. They got some players over there, Garrett Reynolds, and a couple of other juniors that are going to be back next year. So they got some promise on that team.
Yeah, absolutely, they had two upsets coming into that. Beat a good Advance squad. Bloomfield's got a bunch of young kids, and they play well. So that Woodland came in there with a lot of things to prove, and they did that. And we beat them a lot worse earlier in the year than we did last night, so they've definitely improved, and you've got to show some respect for that. But we're never going to look past anybody. Our margin of error is small, especially now, and we've got to understand that we've got to do a lot of things right to continue to win because, we've had some close victories. I think we're 19-1, and we could easily be 14-6 or something like that. We've had some close victories, and the kids have, shown guts when they needed it the most and found a way to pull those close ones out.
Certainly, and very competitive district now. Now that the conference tournament's out of the way, you kind of look ahead that your next hurdle, I guess you would say, is the rest of the regular season, of course. But the thing to be looking forward to now is the district tournament that'll be coming up before you know it, and a very competitive Class 2, as we've seen the past few years. Yourself, Hayti, South Pemiscot, Bloomfield. It's very competitive, and it's going to be once again this year, and it's kind of a gauntlet you run through there in that Class 2 tournament. And you all were the one that came out last year, so you certainly want to do that again this year.
Well, obviously, it's loaded up. Honestly, it can go all the way down to probably the 7 seed almost. It is really loaded, and our kids are going to have to really compete well to from the first round on. We've got Hayti coming up on February 11th at home. The seed meeting's February 12th. It probably have an impact on that. South Pemiscot's playing good basketball. You've got Zenith and Hawcom and Bloomfield, and it's Portageville's in there. Every game you play is going to be tough, and you're going to have to take things one game at a time and play like it's your last game on earth if you want to come out of that thing, because it's probably, if not the best district in the Class 2 district in the state, it's probably one of two. There's one up above Columbia that's pretty tough with Sturgeon and Tolton Catholic and Harrisburg. That's an extremely tough district as well. But top to bottom, I'd put our district with anybody in the state, and if you can come out of there, you've really accomplished something.
Sure. And talking about your roster, you certainly want those guys back, Ellenberg, Schwint, and you're going to be getting anybody else back that's coming along?
Well, Bubby Schwint goes back Monday to kind of be reevaluated. He and Caleb both have high ankle sprains. We're going to see where they're at. After the swelling goes down, they take a better look and see what their timetable is. Bubby goes Monday, Caleb goes Wednesday. And we're hoping to get Troy Kirkpatrick back. He's been rehabbing his knee, hasn't played all year. Coming into this year, he was probably our best player this summer offensively. And, it would be a real lift if we could get those guys back before districts, just to give the team a lift and, just a morale boost a little bit. It's such a long season, and, that would be a nice little boost in, if we can get those guys back coming up, down the stretch.
Yeah, you spoke of Troy Kirkpatrick, and he hasn't played all year. Just getting that knee looked at. It looks like you said he might be making his way back to the roster. And boy, if you add him to the mix, and you got quite a dynamic player there. He really looked good over the summer. He really stepped up his game and really looked aggressive and really promising for this year. So, and it's going to be tough for him because he hasn't played all year, and the conditioning might not be where he wants it to be. So that'll be a challenge there.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's going to have to continue to rehab for a couple more weeks probably, and we hope to get him back. But, you really never know. We're just speculating at this time on all three of them if we'll get any of them back. I hope we get all three back, but if we don't, we're capable with what we have, and we're not going to whine about it, and we're going to find a way to, try to continue to win. It's going to be difficult. It'll be difficult if they come back, but we're just going to keep trying to grind things out and try to win those games. And like I say, Troy's been rehabbing hard, and I think he's going to, I have a feeling he's going to be back. He's just got to get his legs stronger, and we're hopeful on Bubby and Caleb, but we're just got to. We took the team over on Wednesday to watch Lone Survivor, and it's kind of a movie about picking up your fallen teammates, and obviously it's in war, but maybe that hit home with them a little bit. We keep preaching that up, talking about guys that you got to pick up the guys that can't play because they love to be in your shoes. So fortunately last night our kids were able to toughen up and grind that out, and get the job done for the guys that aren't able to play.
Certainly. And you're at 19-1. You know, that's a good season so far. That's you know, it's nothing to just you know, take lightly. It's a very good season so far. Your only loss coming to Kennett and the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament Championship, a Class 4 school. So you got to feel good for, you know, where the kids have played so far this year. So it'll be fun to watch coming down the stretch here. The way you end your season, you got a big game with Hayti coming up. What's that? The week after next?
February 12th. Yeah. No, February 11th. Seed meeting's February 12th. So a week from this Tuesday.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. We'll be down there on hand for that. That'll be a big game.
We've got I mean, we've got 5 extremely tough games coming up to help prepare us for districts. We've got Twin Rivers at Twin Rivers Tuesday. Then we go to Notre Dame Friday, and then we've got Hayti and Malden the next week, and the following we've got Richland and Sykeston. So, you know, that should prepare us, and we could honestly lose quite a few of those games if we don't come out and compete extremely hard, because you're facing a couple very good Class 4 schools. You know, Hayti is tough. Malden's playing pretty well. You know, Twin Rivers on the road is tough. We've already played them twice. It's never easy to play a team 3 times. So got to work cut out for us, and we're going to have to really find some sense of urgency in practice and continue to work hard.
Yeah, you talk about any one of those CMO conference teams this year, it's a tough out.
Absolutely. We just want to compete with those guys.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like morale victories or things like that. You know, we're not looking for just to play close to somebody. We want to go compete and try to beat them. But you know, even if we don't, it's good for our kids to help us prepare for districts to have to play that hard just to compete in those games, especially on the road. Notre Dame and Sykeston are probably the 2 toughest places to play in Southeast Missouri.
Yeah.
So be a good atmosphere for our kids.
Certainly. And played enough big atmospheres, the Christmas Tournament Championship, the County Tournament Finals, and you know, there's some big games that the kids are getting experience in.
That's what it's about. You just hope you get them prepared for districts. That's the biggest time of the year, and you know, you can't take anything for granted, because you know, anybody can knock you off that time of the year. Everybody's 0-0 when you go into that tournament, and you've got to find a way to get it done. And you know, hopefully we're able to. But there's some awfully good teams in there, and you know, anybody could win that thing.
Certainly, we'll be looking forward to that district tournament. Certainly, coming up here, and it'll be just over a month. It'll be here before you know it. So, we'll be looking forward to that here quite soon. Brad, we appreciate you stopping by today and talking about your team and your season so far, and coming off the tournament championship last night. I know it's kind of a benchmark you hit in the season that you want to accomplish. So be looking forward to the rest of the season. We'll be looking forward to a few more games we'll have with y'all here on YHC, and it's been fun to watch y'all all year. And as it always is, y'all are competitive year in and year out, and we'll be looking forward to the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and we appreciate you guys' coverage.
Certainly. All right. And we're going to take a break and be back with more coming up.
It's the small things in life that you tend to appreciate. The quality of care at SEMO Health Network is no different. They focus on the small details with healthcare that make you feel good, so you can get back to enjoying the small things in no time. They have so many ways to take care of you, with 8 locations serving rural communities in need of medical care, including dental facilities and an in-house laboratory.
You'll feel good about this. SEMO Health Network.
What is your emergency? Need assistance at County Road 61 and Highway 9. Help is on its way.
Clear! There's a better way to jumpstart your soil back to health. Apply Endzone to protect and increase nitrogen efficiency without killing bacteria. Apply Prevent to increase phosphorus availability and reduce fixation. Better yet, use them both to get more from your fertilizer investment and see higher potential yields. Ag Explorer, your prescription for healthy soil.
All right, let's take a look at some local and state rankings for here in Southeast Missouri and the state of Missouri. And starting off with the SEMO Sport Zone top 25 poll for boys basketball. This is our first one that we've gotten up this year. We've got Jackson on top at number 1. They pretty much laid their claim to the top team in Southeast Missouri with recent victory over Sykeston, also winning the SEMO Conference Tournament earlier in the year. So they're pretty much your undisputed number 1 team in Southeast Missouri there with the Jackson Indians. Number 2, Charleston, right behind Jackson. Number 3, Sykeston, right there in the mix. 4, Scott County Central. 5, Farmington. 6, Notre Dame. 7, Kennett. 8, Crothersville. 9, Poplar Bluff. 10, New Madrid County Central. 11, we got Cape Central. 12, Bernie. 3, Clearwater. 14, Oran. 15, Hayti. 16, South Pemiscot. 17, Advance. 18, Leopold. 19, Chaffee. 20, Park Hills Central. 21, Clarkton. 22, Holcomb. 23, Valley Catholic. 24, Saxony Lutheran. And 25, Oak Ridge. And on the bubble, outside looking in is Risco, Malden, Puxico, Twin Rivers, Neelyville, and Portageville. And that's the SEMO Sport Zone SEMO 25 poll for this week. And taking a look at the girls poll for Southeast Missouri, the top 10 poll. Number 1, Dexter, far and away so far the best team in Southeast Missouri. 2, Notre Dame. 3, Saxony Lutheran. 4, Jackson. 5, Poplar Bluff. 6, Clearwater. 7, Neelyville. 8, Woodland. 9, Twin Rivers. And 10, Oran. And that's the top 10 poll for girls basketball this week. And talking about those girls, Dexter Lady Bearcats having a fine season. Suffered a loss Thursday night to St. James. They're the second-ranked team in the state in Class 3. And suffered a loss up there, but a tough road game for the Lady Bearcats, but looking strong so far this year. And, of course, that Class 4 district, got to look at Dexter, Notre Dame right there at the top. Always a big matchup between those two teams. Probably looking at another face-off in that district once again this year. And those two teams will be playing, I believe, here in the next within the next few weeks. They'll be matching up against one another. They're Dexter and Notre Dame. And taking a look at state rankings this week from the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association and MoSports.com. And the boys Class 1, South Iron still on top at number 1. 2, Medville. 3, Scott County Central moving up from number 5. 4, Stanberry. 5, Hardin Central. 6, Eminence, the defending state champion, still in the top 10 at number 6. 7, Winston. 8, Leopold. 9, Mound City. And 10, Jefferson. And on to Class 2, West Platte still at number 1 and undefeated, 15-0. 2, Sacred Heart. 3, Canton. 4, Bernie. 5, Gainesville. 6, Iberia. 7, Thayer. 8, Harrisburg. 9, Crane. And 10, Salisbury. And to Class 3, number 1, Madison Prep still on top of number 1. Cardinal Ritter moves up to number 2. 3, Eugene. 4, Hartville. 5, Montgomery County. 6, Stratford. 7, Mountain View Liberty. 8, Summit Christian Academy. 9, Charleston. And 10, Knob Noster. Charleston moves into that top 10 this week. And in Class 4, Republic at number 1. 2, Duchesne. 3, Lafayette of St. Joseph. 4, Sykeston. I think Sykeston moved down from number 2, I believe, this week. 5, St. Charles. 6, Jeff City Helias. 7, St. Francis Borgia. 8, Lincoln Prep. 9, Hillcrest. And 10, Grandview. And the Class 5 boys poll, number 1, Christian Brothers College. 2, Hickman. 3, Chaminade. 4, Lee Summit West. 5, Hazelwood Central. 6, Blue Springs South. 7, Jackson, moving into that top 10 at number 7. Big leap for the Jackson Indians. Number 8, Waynesville. 9, Rockbridge. And 10, Nixa. And those are the boys' rankings, classes 1 through 5. And take a look at the girls' rankings, starting with Class 1. Notaway Holt still at number 1. 2, North Andrew. 3, Tuscumbia. 4, Walnut Grove. 5, Mercer. 6, Glasgow. 7, Drexel. 8, Orwick. 9, Chadwick. And 10, North Harrison. And in Class 2, Crane at number 1, 2 New Franklin, 3 Gainesville, 4 Skyline, 5 South Harrison, 6 Plato, 7 Marionville, 8 Archie, 9 North Platte, and 10 Harrisburg. And in Class 3, Herman still on top at number 1 and undefeated. 2 St. James, 3 Ashgrove, 4 Principia, 5 Palmyra, 6 Licking, 7 North Tech, 8 Lutheran St. Peter's, 9 Cardinal Ritter, and 10 Metro. And in Class 4, Incarnate Word still on top at number 1, and I believe they're in the top 5 of the nation. There with Incarnate Word. 2 Mary Institute of Country Day Schools. 3 Dexter moves down from number 2 from last week. 4 Smithville. 5 Miller Career Academy. 6 St. Francis Borgia. 7 Duchesne. 8 Bolivar. 9 Webb City, and 10 Sullivan. And for the Class 5 girls, Rockbridge at number 1, 2 Kearney, 3 Hickman, 4 Truman, 5 Eureka, 6 Fort Zumwalt West, 7 Webster Groves, 8 Kirkwood, 9 Nixa, and 10 Ozark. And those are the state rankings for girls basketball classes 1 through 5. And we see a few teams in there. Well, we saw Naylor in the top 10 a few weeks ago. They moved out with a few losses there in Class 1. Dexter still hanging tough there in the top 5. In Class 4, suffered a few losses late. I believe it was last weekend. Suffered a loss to Dyersburg, down in Dyersburg, state-ranked team there in Tennessee. And as I mentioned, St. James Thursday night, the number 2 ranked team in Class 3, both road games. And Dexter Lady Bearcats looking pretty strong, though, playing some very stiff competition this year. They've played already top 5 state-ranked teams in classes 3, 3, and 5 so far this year. So they've really played some tough teams, and we'll continue to play tough teams throughout the year. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how, especially that Class 4 district turns out later on this year. They're notably with Dexter and Notre Dame. And it's the rankings we've got for you this week, and we're going to take a break and be back with more coming up.
Okay, you're hooked up and ready to go.
New Wave knows you're excited about sports, so now's a great time to get connected with the Triple Play package. Crystal clear TV, high-speed internet, and telephone for only $99.99 a month for 12 months. With New Wave Communications, you've got game. In addition to unlimited calling, New Wave telephone users have a wide range of great phone features available. And now with the help of New Wave Internet, they're even easier to use thanks to our convenient online phone manager. Just log on to your MyWave portal. Now phone features like call forwarding can be set up instantly from any computer. Reliably activate or deactivate your call forwarding. And even set your home phone to ring once when a call is forwarded. Home telephone service made even better with New Wave Communications. Call today.
And now we'll take a look at some upcoming games we've got here on YHC TV and SEMOSportZone.com. Take a look at the games we've got coming up starting next week. And take a look, we've got a game Tuesday evening, February 4th. We've got Marmaduke at Rector, and we'll bring that one live to you here on YHC and YHCTV.com. That'll be Tuesday night. Live from Rector. Always a good matchup there between Marmaduke and Rector there in Northeast Arkansas. And next Friday night, we've got the Boot Hill Conference Finals, varsity and JV from Campbell. And we'll bring that one live to you next Friday night there in the Boot Hill Conference. Very competitive conference this year, especially at the top. You've got Hayti, Crothersville, and South Pemiscot. Crothersville will be the number 1 seed in that tournament. And should be some very good games there. The finals Friday night, next Friday night from Campbell. 6 o'clock will be the JV finals, varsity at 7:30. And the following Tuesday, February 11th, we've got Hayti at Bernie, and we'll bring that one live to you from Bernie. A big matchup in Southeast Missouri, especially in the Class 2 classification February 11th on that Tuesday. And that next Thursday, February 13th, Piggott at Rector, and we'll bring that one live to you from Rector. And that Friday, Dexter at Kennett, and we'll bring that one live to you from Kennett on the 14th, that Friday night. And looking ahead to the next week, February 17th on that Monday, we've got girls Poplar Bluff at Dexter, and we'll bring that one live to you from Dexter. Tuesday, the 18th, we got Poplar Bluff at Dexter, and that'll be live for the boys game. February 20th, Thursday, Scott County Central at New Madrid County Central, and we'll bring that one live to you from New Madrid. Should be a big game between those two, with Scott County and New Madrid. And Friday, the 21st of February, Bernie at Sykeston, and we're going to try to bring that one live to you from Sykeston. Monday, the 24th, girls game, Jackson at Dexter, and we'll bring that one live to you, Jackson and Dexter. And that next Thursday night, the 27th, the girls game, Sykeston at Dexter, and we'll bring that one live as well. So those are the upcoming games we've got for February. We're in the last month of the regular season now, and as you see there, district and state tournament games will be determined. And we've got a few sites that we're looking at to do district and state tournament games from, so we'll be looking forward to that. We'll be bringing quite a few games, probably in the neighborhood of 8 to 10 games of district and state tournament play, and we'll have it all here for you on YHC TV and SemoSportsZone.com. So look forward to that at the end of February and into the first few weeks of March. And take a look at some college basketball taking place today across the country. We've got Ohio State, 24th ranked Ohio State at 14th ranked Wisconsin in the Big Ten. And in the SEC, 11th ranked Kentucky at Missouri. Big game for the Missouri Tigers today. 6th ranked Kansas at 25th ranked Texas in the Big 12 Conference. Baylor at 8th ranked Oklahoma State in the Big 12. 23rd ranked Oklahoma at 16th ranked Iowa State in the Big 12 as well. And a big ACC matchup today. 17th ranked Duke at 2nd ranked Syracuse. That matchup taking place today. In the Big 10, 15th ranked Iowa at Illinois. And in the Pac-12 Conference out west, top ranked Arizona at California. And our local teams, Southeast Missouri State's at Eastern Kentucky today. And Arkansas State's at Troy. Those matchups taking place today in college basketball. And, of course, it's Super Bowl weekend. We've got the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the Seattle Seahawks at MetLife Stadium in the New York, New Jersey area. And that'll be tomorrow, Sunday, 5:25 kickoff on Fox Channel. It's on the Fox network this year at 5:25 kickoff, and a bunch of anticipation in this matchup. Not only the matchup between the teams, but the weather, how it was going to be. I know a year ago when looking ahead to this game, they were expecting 20-degree weather with snow and ice. The Farmer's Almanac really gave a doomsday scenario, and they've had some rough weather up there. Even in the past week, last week actually, had a big blizzard up there, and looks like they're going to clear it out just in time for this game. It's going to catch it right in the perfect window of the weather starting to be mild up there in the northeast, and temperatures expected at this time anywhere from 40 to 45 degrees at kickoff. And it'll probably sneak into the upper 30s throughout the game. But winds, I think they're saying 5 to 10 miles an hour with potential gusts up to 15. But no precipitation, only a very slight chance of rain or snow. I think it's around 10%. So really probably not expecting any precipitation in this year's Super Bowl. Temperature's not really all that frigid, around 40 degrees, and that's pretty typical for a December or January football game, especially if you're out of the South, if you're not in Miami or one of the southern states. So both teams have been playing in the cold here in the last month, so it's not really going to play that much of a factor. The wind certainly was going to be a concern for probably more so the Denver Broncos and their heavy pass attack and the timing routes that Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos use versus kind of a ground and pound approach of the Seattle Seahawks with their star running back Marshawn Lynch. But it looks like everything's going to be pretty even when it comes to the weather. Doesn't look like there's going to be necessarily an advantage for either team when it comes to the weather. So it's certainly the way the league wants it, and have the best players on the field and do what they do best. And certainly should be a great game tomorrow evening on the Fox Channel in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks going for their first world championship in its organization's history. The last time they went was 2005, Super Bowl 40, lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in that Super Bowl, and making it back for the first time since. And the Denver Broncos making it back to the Super Bowl for the first time since the 1998 season, the 99 Super Bowl, but in the 98 season, John Elway held up that Lombardi Trophy for the second straight year and retired after that season. So it's been quite a while since the Denver Broncos been back in this Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning, of course, leading the way, and he's in his first Super Bowl since 2009 with the Indianapolis Colts. Lost to the New Orleans Saints in Super Bowl 44 in Miami back in 2009 season, and before that won in the 2006 season with the Colts as they defeated the Chicago Bears in Super Bowl 41. So it's been a while since we've seen Peyton Manning in the big game, and he looks to be the first player ever to win a Super Bowl for two different teams. And I think he's the third quarterback that will start a Super Bowl for two different teams. But he could become the only one to ever win a Super Bowl as a quarterback, starting quarterback for two different organizations. And the last one we saw was Kurt Warner. Did it for the Rams, won the 1999 Super Bowl with the 99 season with the Rams defeating the Titans, and went back in 2000 and what year is that? 2008. Yeah, 2008 season, and lost the Super Bowl starting for the Arizona Cardinals against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Kurt Warner was the last one to start a Super Bowl with two different teams. Peyton Manning, the third in history, trying to become the first to win with two different teams. So we'll see. Big matchup. Number one offense in the Denver Broncos taking on the number one defense of the Seattle Seahawks. But on the other side, people are really overlooking the matchup between the Denver defense versus the Seattle offense. I think a lot of people are concentrating a lot of attention on the Seattle defense versus the Broncos offense, and we'll see how that is. The best defense, especially the best secondary in the league in Seattle, matching up against the best receiving core in the league in the Denver Broncos. But on the other end, Denver's playing really good defense in the last half of not last half, but the last few games of the season and into the playoffs, really shutting down running games here in the last 4 or 5 games of theirs, especially the last week or 2 weeks ago in the AFC Championship against the New England Patriots. Shut down their running game, and that's what Seattle leans on, is that running game with Marshawn Lynch. So the ball might have to be in Russell Wilson's hands, second-year quarterback for the Seahawks. It looks like the game might be in his hands more than people will think in this contest, but he's more than capable. Certain times of the year, he's kind of had an inconsistent year, but certainly he's had the capability of making plays for the Seahawks, both with his legs and through the air. And Percy Harvin's back with the Seattle Seahawks, been out for most of the year, and he's back with them and looking to make a big impact for the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So very intriguing game to look forward to. You don't know quite what to expect, but I think it'll be quite a game in Super Bowl 48 tomorrow evening in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. So we'll be looking forward to that on the Fox Channel, 5:25 kickoff on Sunday. And that'll pretty much wrap up our show for this week, and we appreciate you for tuning in as always, and we'll look forward to having you back in next week right back here on the Roundtable. We appreciate Brad Botsch, Bernie basketball coach, being with us today and talking about his season so far, and we'll look forward to having you back with us for the Roundtable and more sport action here with high school basketball here on YHC TV and CMOSportZone.com. And until next time, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a great week.